Okay, so we are live. You could go ahead and get started. There's a few people just asking where it is, so I want to let them know we're live.
Sure. Okay, well, welcome everybody. Today, this week, we're talking about the BRRRR method, correct, Liz? Okay. So the BRRRR method is a newer term for something that has been around for a long time, which is basically buying a property, fixing it up, renting it out to create income, use the income to qualify you for a mortgage, so refinance it, pull your money back out, and rinse and repeat. So that has been done forever. It's just that the last few years, I believe it started on bigger pockets, but they started with the term BRRRR, which means buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. That's what BRRRR stands for. And it's definitely the best method to accrue a real estate portfolio. I'm going to explain to you in a minute why. Because it doesn't matter if you're going to wholesale, fix and flip, or buy and hold, you do have to buy properties underneath value. Number one, with implied built equity, meaning that once you do some of the work, the equity is going to be there for you to obviously cash flow, number one, if you do a rental. Number two, that you have equity so that you can use and leverage to buy more properties. So regardless if you're renting or wholesaling, you do need to buy properties on the market. Number one. Number two, it has to give you enough room so you can refinance. And when you refinance, they're not going to give you 100% of the property value. They're going to give you about 80%, right? So this is the best method to really build up your portfolio. And let me share with you a little bit about my story and how I use the BRRRR method. So about 30 plus years ago, back in 91, I decided I was going to start buying rental properties and build up a portfolio. And that's exactly how I did it with what they call now the BRRRR method. I would look for property that needed work and buy them, with using hard money or eventually start using my own money to buy these properties, fix them up, using again hard money. And then once I got them rented and I would get the rental income, then I would use this rental income to qualify me for a refinance. So I didn't have to use my personal income, which I didn't have because I didn't have a job, honestly. Refinance, pull my money back out, pay off the lender, and pull extra money out so that I could use that money for the down payment on another property. And I started doing that. I personally started pretty aggressively. In about a year and a half, I bought 16 multifamily buildings using this method. And that's how I built my portfolio. Not only I built my portfolio, but then the cash that I would get out of a refinance was going to be used to buy more property, and also it was tax-free. So it's a great method to generate. So you're basically using the rental income from the property to qualify you for more mortgages, right? And as long as you keep the unspoken rule of below 75% of the after repair value, of the rent. So let's say if the rent is $1,000 a month, you want to keep your expenses, mortgage, insurance, taxes, and everything below 750, then the lender is going to use the extra money to add on to the income to qualify you for a mortgage. So if you start leveraging the property where your monthly expenses are over 75% of whatever the rental income is, unfortunately, that's going to create a deficiency in the lender's eyes, and it's going to penalize you by putting the deficiency into qualifying for more mortgages. So that's why I personally like to keep a rule about having about $250 or more per door. Meaning if it's a single family, it's $250, $300. Honestly, I like at least $300 on a single. If it's a duplex, $250 would be $500. It's a four family, $1,000, because that roughly gives me what I need to keep qualifying for loans. So it's a great method for you to build and rinse and repeat. Keep in mind that, if you're doing this type of method, there is a cycle. When you buy a property, you need to wait about 6 months before you do a refinance, and then keep building up from there. If you do have like a line of credit on your house, or some business line of credit, or your own IRAs or funds, that you can do this. I have a lot of students that do keep doing this. They take the money, buy properties, fix them up, rent, and pull their money back out. And soon enough, after a few properties, they don't even have to use their IRAs or HELOC. They can just use the money that they got back from the property. So it's a great system to grow exponentially. But keep in mind that you do have to buy these properties under value in order for that means they need quite a bit, some work. I wouldn't say a lot of work. I wouldn't buy anything that needs major rehab, but it's going to need some work in order for you to exponentially grow under the system, so that you can tap into this equity as soon as the work has been done. So anybody can do this. Okay, so this is a great system. If you use a little bit of creativity like I did when I started, I didn't have a job. I was fresh out of college, and also I didn't have much credit. So I used a lot of owner financing, lease options subject to owner financing, contract for deeds, in order to get my foot in the door, to use the BRRRR method, and then refinance these people up by creating income on the properties. And that's how I was able to exponentially grow pretty fast. So I've done it. Nowadays, students that are starting with no funds or enough still do it. So it's not something that you can say, oh yeah, it worked 30 years ago, but it doesn't work today. No, not true. We have several students that use the same method, the same strategies, and build a portfolio now. So this is something great. And then obviously you can use this property for long-term rentals, Airbnb, whatever you want to do. You can use this property for different in different type of rental situations. So anyone here can do it. Okay, you just have to have, first of all, the determination that you are going to do this. If there is a will, there is a way, right? And that was what came to me when I started in this business doing rentals. It's like I didn't let the fact that I didn't have a job, I was fresh out of college, I didn't have much funds to do this. I didn't stop me. Where there is a will, there is a way. And I decided that I was going to find a clever way to do it. Now, you have the benefit of the fact that you have people like me with experience in doing this. They can definitely back you out and say, hey, yes, you can do it. And this is the way to do it. We have training specifically that goes into this type of strategy. A couple of years ago, I sat down and I created a whole program around how I did it. So it's not available out there for anybody to just buy this program. If you're interested in talking to us about coaching, I'm sure Liz puts links in the group or anywhere to join us and reach out to us. But this is something that I give to my students in part of a comprehensive coaching program to understand exactly how I did it. And also what I share is a 10-year plan on how you can do this. And I think we also gave a snippet of that 10-year plan in a PDF a little while ago. So that's the thing I want to say. There is a will, there is a way. You can do it. It's been done now. It's been done 30 years ago. Is the best way to create a rent portfolio. To me, real estate, I look at it as a monopoly game. You use money from real estate to buy more real estate. You don't use your personal money. Yeah, you can kind of borrow against your personal money, like your HELOC or your IRA, to get started, but with the intention that you have a plan to pay this back in a year or less, right? And avoid some tax consequences if you do that. So great. That's all I wanted to cover on the BRRRR method. I kind of give you a thing and a little bit of an idea how it works and how you can leverage it. And then, like I said, if you do want to understand more about it and you want to learn really how I did it step by step, we do this as part of our training, and Liz can give you more information on that.
Awesome. So now we're going to open up for questions. This is going to be a combined about the BRRRR method and Ask Us Anything. We do allow one question per person. So while you guys are putting your question into the chat, you are allowed to ask anything. I will go ahead and announce our raffle winner of the week, since I finally remember those. I have a sticker like right by my camera. So with that being said, get your questions in. I'll answer one per person. And then a raffle winner, we were trying to raffle off gas cards just because of everything going on with the gas. And I was telling Laura, I don't know if you're in Florida, but even our electric has gone up 30% per like kilowatt or whatever it was. It was insane. So I was like, but you know, obviously we're nationwide coaches. They don't offer gas cards virtually. So we are going to be raffling off instead just a $25 Visa gift card that you could put towards gas. You could put towards something. It's just a little appreciation for those of you that have really interacted this week, commented on things. And we do this every Friday. We change it up what we offer. It changes every week. And all we ask is that you participate because we're here to help you guys. We're here to be in the group, but it's not fun when there's crickets. So we do raffles just to have, yeah, see, Laura says gas where she is is $7 a gallon. No, thank you. It's gone down to $4.19 where I am. So that was great because it hit $5. So we are raffling that off this week. We kind of change it up. So the winner of the $25 gift card, it will be sent through Amazon, but we are just going to do the Visa. So all we'll need is your email, is Rhonda Pearson. So congratulations, Rhonda. This is from Laura as well. Her name is Laura. Laura, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It said that my internet connection is not being stable right now. So Laura's asking, I'm curious to know how you are going to shift when foreclosures start popping up all over.
Can you see me? Because my internet is more unstable than yours. But
yeah, I can see you.
Okay. Well, you know, it's like I said, it's hard to predict what's going to happen. And so I hate to speculate until I see more of the proof for what is going to happen. I think that we're going to see something different than what happened 15 years ago, but I'm not sure what yet. So with that said, yes, we will definitely adjust our strategy, but I think it's a little too early to see what is going on yet, okay? And then if foreclosure seems to be the thing, then we probably have to revert back to doing a ton of short sales like I used to do 15 years ago. But because the banks are more in, you know, online or what to do with that, with the short sales, so we allowed to take a different approach. But like I said, right now it's too early to say. So just keep your radar and the antennas up and see what's going on first. And then we always adjust our strategies. One of the things I can always say, the reason I've been in the business as long as I have is because we have had a lot of situation over the years. You know, we had at the end of the 80s, there was a lot of going on. Inflation was crazy back then too, with real estate. Interest rates were really high. Then we had the 91 with Desert Storm. Then we had 2001 with 9/11, 2007 with the housing crisis. And whenever we have something major happen, we have a big shift in real estate and the way we do things as real estate investors. But like I said, right now, it's still too early, but stay tuned. I will let you guys know when I see something and how we can, I wouldn't say, you know, take advantage of that, because I hate to just be, you know, like hawks looking for what's going to happen bad next so we can vulture on it. But I would say, I will let you know what is going to be the wrinkle in the system that you can take opportunity as an investor. So stay tuned.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree with her. All right. So do we have any more questions while you have us? We have quite a few watchers. We have 12 people. So feel free to, yeah, feel free to ask us some questions. We are here.
And we do this every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So, you know, we have a different topic every week, because every week we do training within the group. So make sure that you watch out. Every week we change. So, and then on Friday, we open up for questions and give you a little bit of a personal input on how we leverage whatever strategy we talk for the week. So we do this, so make sure you participate every Friday.
Yeah, and for those that didn't see the earlier post, we're combining them too, because we found that the Ask Us Anything, I mean, there was one, I think last week, where we didn't even have any questions. So we just figured we'll combine, and it will be able, that way you guys can have one time you have to get on versus 2 separate days. So we have a couple questions coming in. Do you think the rental market is going to stay strong?
Yes, yes, for different reasons. Number one is because of people really kind of seeing what's going on. The interest rates are going up, the housing prices are going up. Yes, in certain parts of the country, renting is actually more expensive than buying a mortgage, but a lot of people do not want to put money in real estate right now. We're seeing already a shift where the buyers are kind of backing away a little bit. So people are kind of on the standby. The other thing is a housing crisis. There is not enough places for everybody, especially, to buy homes, and especially an affordable level, because it's not just a mortgage payment you have to do every month, but you have to come up with a down payment, the closing costs. Not a lot of people has tens of thousands of dollars to do so, even if you get an FHA loan. The other thing is we're seeing more of a transient society with remote working, people going out there and traveling like I am. I'm actually in South Carolina right now. We have an RV, but people traveling, working remotely, you're going to see this more and more where people stay, Airbnb, vacation rentals, and so forth. Like, for example, there are a lot of different vacation rental agencies popping up. There is Airbnb that everybody knows. There is VRBO has been around longer than Airbnb. There is Vacasa now. They're all the time because they see that people are more transient, like to live in different places and work. Not everybody wants to live or travel in an RV, so they would like to stay in a place. So yes, the rental market is definitely strong. And if we go through a wave where things are going to switch back, like foreclosure or anything else, that always also pushes the rental market up because these people that are getting foreclosed on need a place to stay. So yep, definitely rental has always been strong and has always been something steady. And yeah, it's going to stay and get even better.
If you're marketing to an end buyer, do you put the estimate of repairs that you've made with your investor friend or contractor? Why I ask is because I've heard one coach say, don't include my repair estimate because end buyer could come after you if the repairs for it was way off, the repair cost. No, I sell as is. So that's up to them to do their due diligence. And every buyer is going to have a different way of what they think it will cost to purchase a property. Okay, so as we were talking about with buyers, let me scroll back up. We were talking about buyers, and so it really is ultimately up to your buyer to do their own money. You are selling, like in our contract, it states that it is as is, so they can't come back at me for anything. That was their job to do things. I'm very upfront about that from the get-go. Laura, would you like to say anything else with that?
No, you got that. Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Next question. What factors do you look at to pick the location you want to buy a rental property?
That goes into choosing the right area. And, it's a different conversation. I think we do have a week where we talk about that more. But, you look at different things. You also do research. There are the websites out there. There's the National Association of Realtors, the NAR website. There is also Rentometer that you can look at that. There are also websites for Airbnb specifically that you can look into the studies and the markets. So I would do that type of research first and then decide on which area to buy rentals. I would look at the numbers themselves. Even when we do wholesale or fix and flip, I also suggest the students, look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie. Don't look at what the real estate groups say or what other people, their opinion is. Look at the actual numbers, and the numbers don't lie, and then you go from there. But there is a bunch of really good, reliable tools online where you can do that type of research.
Awesome. And last question, I think I'm seeing, I'll double check. Do you think rural areas are good areas to buy or staying closer to denser areas? I can't talk today.
Always, I say try to stay. Well, first of all, it's about supply and demand, right? So if it's a smaller area, but there is a great demand for rentals, let's say that you're in an area close to a military base, that it could be a small area, but high demand for rentals, right? But as a norm, I always say that if you're doing any type of rental, wholesale, fix and flip, try to stay in an area that population-wise close to 100,000 or more. I would not go into major metropolitan areas, like Miami, Tampa, Orlando. Atlanta, they seem to have a lot of saturation. But within 30 minutes to an hour, usually you can find really good areas to invest. But do your research. Choosing the right area is the first step that we work with our students very closely, because that's going to make it or break it.
Okay. That's all the questions we have today. Would you like to close out?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that, the number one thing I want to say to everybody is be very conscious of the areas that you're going to invest, either for rental, wholesaling, or fix and flip. That's why that when we start our training with the students, we always talk very heavily about that, because it's like building something on a solid foundation or not, right? And especially as the market is going to shift, we're going to see a lot of shift on supply and demand as well. So keep a very close look on that. And like I said, there is a ton of research, and it's pretty easy to research, but you have to know where to look. So really make sure you do the right research on that. Rentals are definitely going to be strong and become stronger. I believe actually it's going to probably even be stronger as things are going to progress. So as far as vacation rentals, be careful with that. The reason I'm saying that is just it fluctuates. You don't have full control. So if your municipality or a city decides that vacation rentals is not what they want, or this particular subdivision, they can pull the plug from under you. So whenever you buy a rental, make sure that the rental would cash flow regardless if it's a vacation rental or not. So that's my first. And if vacation rentals overnight went away, which I don't think it's going to, but let's say you can still cash flow, right? So make sure you do that. So, but like I said, rental, the BRRRR method has been around forever, and that's the best way to accumulate portfolio.
Awesome. So thank you everybody for dealing with apparently both Laura and my internet issues today, and those that stayed on the entire time. I hope this was helpful. If you were able to watch, thanks again for being here. If you're watching the replay, definitely let us know. Just put like #replay. But lots of good information was given out, lots of good questions. We are going to do this every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. So definitely make sure you plan to be here. You can ask any question that you have, like your most burning question. It does not matter. We will answer it for you. So I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. And Laura?
That's it. Thanks, everybody. And sorry, I'm not coming on video because I'm afraid it's going to kick off the internet. So, but I will hopefully talk to you next Friday.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, take care.